Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? I'm gonna give everybody about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid before we dive into the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a very peaceful Thursday, staying productive, powerful, positive, all that good stuff. Man, y'all see, man. So we gonna build on what that word build how on how to establish that state of mind, that state of existence. Hey Javon, peace. What's happening, man? But before I dive into the subject matter for the day, tap in with me. Let me know how we living and feeling. Bobby, peace. What's happening? Hey, 777, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling? Lindell, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling on this? Just building, man. Sitting on elevation. Y'all already know how I go. Always striving to elevate. Always striving to be better than I was the day before. Striving to be better than I was an hour ago. You know, I'm always striving to elevate and evolve. That's always the mission and the type of time that I'm on, and that's always the type of time that I promote for other people to be on. I'm always striving to be better. Hey, six piece, what's happening? Airview piece, what's happening? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling? Peace, what's happening? Hey, that, however you getting that tranquility, man, as long as it ain't destructive and harmful, hey, do what you got to do to induce that state of mind. Do what you got to do. State of mind is very important, especially in these turbulent times that we living in. But I always ask y'all, what's the word? And sometimes I just be joking, like for real, like come up with a word for the day. I say what's the word, but man, when you wake up and you actually give yourself a word to focus on for the day, like a positive word, like that could change the trajectory of your life, man. A word to just ponder on. And when you ponder on it, when you build on or elaborate on that word, define it, and you utilize that definition, you just implement the definition throughout your day, man. That can start to elevate your life, man. When you just find a word for the day, a positive, powerful word, build on it first thing in the morning, you know, and insert or implement the build in your everyday life. That's a good practice. So I'm waking up. I'm like, man, what's a good word for the day, man? And tranquility. I settled on tranquility, the state of being calm. You know, that was something that I wanted to focus on, man. So I've been focusing on that word. I've been focusing on how to establish that state all day. And now I'm here to pass on what I've discovered from just pondering on that word, on that concept all day. So hey, I asked y'all what's the word, man, but y'all really need to start coming up with a word for sure. TZ, what's happening? What's the word, as I like to say? And it's easy to think of a word for the day. All you got to do is get up and, man, just kind of check your temperature and see what state of mind you in. See what state of mind you in, check your temperature, and then it shouldn't be that hard for you to come up with a word for the day. Hey, MC, what's happening? Harmonize peace. Them long talks, man, they necessary out here for sure. Hopefully y'all made some progress with the conversation. But yeah, that tranquility, man, that state of being calm. When you analyze most people in this day and time, that state of tranquility rarely exists. You rarely come across a person who exudes that calm energy. We in a lot of chaos right now. For the most part, the average person has a chaotic state of mind, has a lot of chaos going on within their lives. And when you entertain that type of energy, that's exactly what you attract. And all our ancient teachings tell us to remain calm, stay calm in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of chaos. But we lose those teachings when we are presented with chaotic moments. When we are presented with the turmoil, we abandon that whole don't panic philosophy. The first thing we do is panic. And we need to stop doing that, man. We need to stop panicking, man, especially Especially when you deep off in certain studies and you know at the end of the day, if you plant certain seeds into the atmosphere or if you think a certain type of way, then that's what you attract. When you know these things and you have accepted these philosophies and these concepts, then there's no need for you to be out here panicking. Hey, Tobias, man, 25 push-ups for the live. Come on now. I might bust that down later on. That's nothing. But we gonna focus on this build right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's nothing to that's nothing. 25 with a bad wrist and all. That's nothing. But yeah, we gotta stop. We gotta stop panicking. We gotta stop freaking out. And then also, we gotta understand stress. Gotta get a better understanding or better understanding of stress. You have two forms. You know, you have the state of distress. That's the bad stress. That's the stress that you could do without. Then you have eustress, which is actually stress that you can use to benefit you. The problem is being able to decipher which is which. But not all stress is made equally. You got stress that can tear you down, but you got stress that when you channel it in the right direction, it can build you up and it can cause you to evolve and elevate. You know, so we got to understand that not all stress is bad. But again, it's all about our perception and interpretation. You know, when you are exercising, that's a form of stress that you are placing on stress. That's the eustress that we're talking about. Stress that you are placing on the body via exercise will eventually cause your muscles to grow, you know, leading to more muscle mass and less body fat. That's going to help you in the long run. It's going to protect your bones, you know. So when you are presented, and I look at it like this, all of the stressful situations that we are presented with can be flipped to our benefit. You just got to be able to find a jewel within the situation. And a lot of times we don't do that. You know, you got to be able to extract the jewel or the lesson from the stressful situation. And then once you do that, it is no longer a stressful situation. So in my opinion, every situation that we deem as stressful can be flipped and turned around and used to our benefit. But you just got to be able to extract the lesson from that particular situation. You know, so instead of being stressed out, it's like fully examine and analyze whatever it is that's causing you to freak out and panic. When you thoroughly analyze it, you're going to start finding little nuggets in there. You're going to start finding little jewels like, wait a minute, this situation ain't as bad as I thought. This situation isn't, this picture isn't as bad as I originally painted it. Hey, Supreme Allah, peace, Lord, what's happening? So a lot of times, man, when you actually thoroughly examine a situation, a stressful situation, you will find out 9 times out of 10 that this situation is not that bad or not as bad as I originally thought. You know, so all you got to do sometimes is step back, examine the situation, thoroughly analyze it, and then it's like, all right, man, this is not necessarily that bad, man. And then you extracting the lessons, and then you able to come up with a strategy, a plan to get yourself out of the situation. And then that's when it becomes a learning experience. So you should be able to take every stressful situation that you are going through and turn it into some type of lesson. Turn it to some type of benefit. You should be able to do that with every stressful situation you are encountering. But again, it's hard to do that, and it's nearly impossible to do that if you do not maintain that calm or tranquil state of mind. That's very important. That tranquility. That's very important. So when you are presented with chaotic situations, stay calm. Tell yourself, man, it could be worse. This is not that bad. And when you take that approach, you are able to be more proactive in regards to how you counter it, how you defeat the obstacle or jump over the hurdle, whatever the case may be. You're able to be more proactive instead of reactive. And a lot of times when you are reactive, when it comes to situations like that, doesn't bode well for you. Hey, RLD, peace, what's happening? So again, stay calm. You know, I done been in some serious situations, And I feel like my calmness in those situations helped me out and prevented the situation from escalating or being way worse than it could have been, simply because I maintained my calmness. I remember the first bank the first bank I worked at, when they got robbed. And it was crazy because the dude that robbed me, I was the only one there at the time. The dude that robbed me literally was saying, "Hey man, you moving a little too slow." I was moving slow because I was calm. Now, if I would have panicked, then I would have probably alerted my assistant manager and manager behind me, and that situation could have turned out way worse than it actually did. But since I was calm and I didn't panic, you know what I mean? It actually made dude nervous. Like, man, why is this dude so calm? You know what I mean? Like, I was calm. I was like, man, I'm not about to panic. Brother slid me this note. All right, cool. I'm not about to sit here and panic and start moving crazy, because then it might alert the folks behind them, and I don't know what dude got on him. So if I panic and my assistant manager get wind of it, and I know her emotional state, this ain't gonna go well. This ain't gonna end well. And I knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm gonna stay cool. I'm gonna move like I regularly do. Which dude wasn't hip to that, but I was moving like I was doing a regular transaction. I was like, bro, you might not want to rush me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm actually helping you out by moving this way. So I maintain that calmness, and again, that prevented that situation from escalating. Yeah, the bank got robbed, but it could have turned out a lot worse if I would have started panicking, and I would have alerted the folks behind me. Never know how that would have unfolded. So you always keep that calm state of mind. Terenzo, peace, what's happening? IBR, what's happening? Oh, Lindell, you say the state of mind that you in right now is your concern for the black study curriculum in schools for our young people. They're closing two more schools down here in Shreveport for bad reasons. This is a problem. I got people out that way. Oh yeah, the black curriculum. Like, at this point, hey, we need to just start taking our kids out of the school system for real, like straight up, because it's only going to get worse. At this stage in the game, we need to be taking our kids out of the school system. Like, it's only going to get worse. What's happening is they are removing the black curriculum. They are removing that type of information, that type of education. They taking that out and they replacing it with the alphabet community in their curriculum. So they doing away with the black curriculum and they replacing it with the alphabet community curriculum. That's what's happening here in the grand scheme of things. So they about to wipe out any ounce of black history, any ounce of black education, and they're gonna replace it with alphabet history and alphabet education. That's where we are headed in regards to that. Man, because I saw something that was so crazy. They renamed the Boy Scouts. Like, we didn't rename they didn't rename the Boy Scouts out here. Like, that's where we at with it. That's where we at with it. What they call it now, Scouting America. So they didn't rename the Boy Scouts. I guess Boy Scouts was too offensive out here, so now they got to call it Scouting America or whatever they call it. So I saw that. I'm like, yep, you know, that's where the world is headed though. Like, we can't even call them boy, even though that whole Boy Scout industry is corrupt in and of itself. And it was a lot of predators in that industry. That's almost as bad. The Boy Scouts was almost as bad as like the Catholic Church, even though they about one and the same to me. But they didn't change the name of that. Scouting America. Like, we can't call it Boy Scouts. Scouting America. Like, that's crazy. Scouting America. So you can't say Boy Scout no more. Now, I don't know. I don't think they changed Girl Scouts though. I think they just changed Boy Scouts. I literally think it was just Boy Scouts. I don't know. Somebody can fact check me on that. I'm not sure. But I think they just literally changed Boy Scouts. I don't think they changed Girl Scouts. Like, I don't think that was altered or changed. But again, I could be mistaken. But that's where the world is headed, man. So hey, I say we gotta start removing these kids up out of these schools. Now, of course, that may sound easier said than done, but man, we if we keep leaving it up to this system to educate our folks, then it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But we've been known that though. We've been known that we give them too much power. You know, whoever is in control of educating the youth, like they essentially got the power. Because they can. Hey, whoever controls the education of the people, which basically is the education of the youth, they hold the power. So we giving these folks the power. Every time we send our kids off to these schools, they have the power. Or we are giving them the power. Because now they are controlling the information that our kids receive. And then they are in school for 7, 8 hours, however long they are in school for, and you only got them for a few hours to try to reverse the damage. That ain't long enough, fam. That ain't long enough. So people be killing me when they say, well, we got to stop depending on these schools to educate our children and we need to teach them at home. Well, it's like last time I checked, inflation was serious out here. So most parents I know, especially in the black community, man, they working a lot of hours. So they don't really have the time. They don't really have the time to be doing that, you know? And again, you talking about 6, 7, 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, that they spending being indoctrinated. And you might have 1 or 2 hours with them to change the narrative. That's causing a lot of conflict. That causes a lot of confusion. Lorenzo is still the same. See, that's what I'm talking about. So we gotta change Boy Scout, but the Girl Scout can remain the same. So yep. I figured that stayed the same. So that's what we're looking at, man. They about to basically replace the black curriculum with the alphabet curriculum. That's gonna happen. That's what they doing. So these kids about to be in school learning about all the alphabet history, all of the alphabet terminology. They're gonna be well versed in that. They're gonna be getting degrees in that. You're gonna start seeing college courses in that. I think it's already college courses and all that in that. But you're gonna start seeing people majoring in that. So that's where the world is headed. What they call like gender ethics and things like that. Like you about to start seeing a lot more of these fields open up and expand. Oh wow, you're gonna see the black curriculum vanish in that system. And they gonna view people such as myself, such as Lindell, all the brothers and sisters that keep that type of education alive. They gonna view us as outdated and all that type of nonsense. We not progressive and all that, because we trying to teach the black story, the black history, what's right and exact. We trying to keep it alive. Why they trying to kill it? Why they trying to bury it and suppress it? We trying to keep it alive, and we gonna get demonized and penalized for it. Whole while they pushing forth the alphabet agenda, you know. That's what's happening. Like that's exactly what's happening. But again, look at the word for the day: tranquility. Stay calm. We gonna stay calm. We not gonna let that stress us out. We not gonna let that frustrate us. I'm not gonna let something like that irritate me. Because then when I allow something like that to irritate me and frustrate me, now that is the energy that's consuming me, and then that's going to cause me to attract more circumstances and situations like that to myself. I don't want that. So I'm gonna step back, analyze everything that's going on, and see what I can do. What role can I play to make things better on my end for my people? and I'm gonna focus on that. That's literally what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna sit back and become irate at what they doing. That's gonna make me more irate. It's gonna make me more hostile, more negative, more angry, more frustrated. The next thing you know, my blood pressure is up, you know, and I'm on some, you know what I mean? Like my blood pressure is up and I'm damn near stroking out. Got time for that. Got time for that. We know what type of system we dealing with. We've been dealing with this system. We've been dealing with the same system since we were brought into existence. And the system hasn't changed. So if anything, the system is just acting in a way that we should expect. But again, we got to focus on what we can do. Like, what can you do? What can you do? What role can you play to make things better on your end for your people? That's the question that I ask. That's the question that I will entertain. Instead of getting upset, instead of getting frustrated, I'm done with that response. Because again, the system is just doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is keep black folks at the bottom, suppress our information, suppress our history, fabricate our story, downright lie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they are. That's what this system is in place to do. So they just doing their job. Now let me do my job. You know what I mean? And neutralize that and teach what's right and exact and keep pushing this message. You know, whether it gets received or not. You know, I'm going to do my duty. I'm going to continue to do my duty. I'm going to continue to stay focused. Triple seven for hey, very positive. You know, I'm a fan of darkness. You know, I'm a fan of dark times. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fan. I'm a fan of those types of times. They are needed. We actually, if you ask me, we've been in those dark times. We've been in the dark times. You know, especially black people. There hasn't been a time where we have been on in the wilderness of North America and it wasn't really dark for us. So we've been in these dark times. These other ethnic groups, they are the ones that's going to have a problem. Black folks been living in dark times. Black folks in America, especially, we've been living in dark times. You know, since we didn't been in the wilderness of North America under these conditions, under this system, we have been in dark times. Now, can the times get darker? Possibly so, but we've been in dark times. They have thrown a lot at us. You know, we have been exposed, and we have taken part in a lot of traumatic events, fam. You know what I'm saying? So we have been a part of some very dark times. You know, Tulsa, Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood. Man, listen, move. You know, we could just go down the line. We could just go down the line. You know, it's been rough for us. You know, so it's gonna the dark times is gonna affect all these other groups. The dark times is gonna be the times where we actually come out on top because we war ready, we battle tested, because we've been living in these dark times for longer than everybody else. We've been living in these dark times longer than anybody else. You know. So I say, bring it on. Let the times get darker. We made for it. We equipped. We gonna come out victorious. I feel like that's what we need for the times to get much darker than what they are. I feel like honestly that's what we need for the times to get darker. Like I straight up think that's what we actually need as black people. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's gonna be kumbaya, we all gonna come together, but like nah, I feel like we need these dark times. I need for these dark times to get darker. You know, that might wake a larger percentage of black folks up. Brandon, nah, man, I'm actually out of powder, man. I gotta make some more. Glad you brought that up though, man. But I gotta make some more. I gotta get some more ingredients and start back making my powders for sure. But I'm actually out, man. I actually sold one of my last powders maybe like a week or two ago to one of my clients. Pisces the King for sure, man. Dark times, man, help you build character and all that good stuff, man. Out of that darkness comes the truth. Out of that darkness comes the light. When you really start studying things on a metaphysical level, that light, you know what I'm saying, came out of the darkness. So that's what's gonna come out of dark times, the truth. You know, so that's why I'm here for it. So hey, the darker the times, the more truth that's gonna get revealed. Like straight up. So give me them dark times. The darker times, hey, the harsher the truth is gonna be. You know. So give me them truths, man. I want the truth to be revealed. So we need darker times, so that we can have them truths come out that they've been suppressing for so long. So again, on a metaphysical level, man, out of the darkness came the light. Everything came out of that darkness. You know, so hey, I want pitch black times for sure. Pitch black. You know, give me the darkest times that we can have. I'm here for it. What they say, survival of the fittest. Hey, y'all already know who the fittest is. You already know who the fittest are. You know, it's us. So we gonna survive. So we good. All right, y'all. I'm gonna keep y'all. I'll keep y'all posted for sure on that powder. Most definitely. Yeah, it actually ain't nothing for me to make the powder, but I'll keep y'all posted for sure. Oh, triple seven for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw a snippet of the dark times in 2020. You know, we saw a snippet of it in 2020. You know, they hit us with a little snippet of it. What they call a pandemic, what I call a plandemic. So we saw a little snippet of dark times getting darker in 2020. We saw a little snippet of it. We saw a little snippet of what they are capable of doing. You know, and then we also saw a snippet of our mindset mentality collectively during that whole ordeal, during that whole situation. And it was at that time that I just kind of realized that we really not there yet. We got a long way to go. You know, when 2020 popped off and the pandemic popped off, I stepped back and I was like, yep, we got a long way to go as a people. Like we got a very long way to go. You know, I analyzed our mentality collectively, and it was kind of rough. You know, some of the stuff that we was falling for, some of the stuff that we said we wouldn't do that we ended up doing collectively. You know, we fear mongering got the best of us. Like that tactic destroyed us. You know, they instilled that fear in us, man, and it got us. So we still not able to combat the tactic of using fear. You know, so they still able to instill that fear tactic to get us to move in whatever direction they want us to move in. So I peeped it. I'm like, man, we gotta come on now. Now we had some soldiers and some warriors out here that stood the test of time and didn't allow the fear to get the best of them, man. But for the most part, a lot of our people were caving in, even though initially they were like, man, I'm not doing this and that. I don't care what they come out with. I ain't taking this and that. And then 6 months after they said that initially, they fell in line because they instilled that fear in them. They instilled that fear in them and they got spooked. We gotta stop being easily spooked. And we gotta start standing firm on our squares, man. You know, we allow these people to spook us way too easily, you know, and that they force us into making a decision that they want us to make. So we don't have a backbone collectively a lot of times, man. Initially, we be sounding like we unified. Initially, we be sounding like we standing for something. The next thing you know, we start getting divided. You know, family members was disowning family members because of, you know what I mean? Because of shots, jabs, whatever you call them. Oh, you ain't get the jab. I can't fool with you. Stay away from me. Don't come to my house. Like we was on that type of time. Now you fast forward 4 years later, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like those of us that opted not to get it, we good. You know, now you know what I'm saying? But y'all, we was crazy a minute ago. Now we cool. You know, but you was ready to disown me 4 years ago. Like you ain't want to, you like you ain't got to talk to me ever again 4 years ago. But now, 4 years later, now we back to normal. You know, and I never had to get any jab. I never had to get injected with anything, and I'm living good. I'm straight. Can't tell you the last time I was sick. But you know, when that happened, saw a lot of people's true colors come out. You know, I saw a lot of true colors get exposed and revealed when that situation presented itself. So anytime we are presented with situations like that, pandemics, whatever you want to call them, when you get presented with situations like that, man, you got to pay attention to people around you. You got to pay attention to what they say, how they move, how they thinking, and all that, you know, because a lot of times in those situations that cause for great panic, that's when you get the truth out of people. That's when those true colors get revealed. That's why I say remain calm, because when stuff like that happens and you remain calm, you are able to see the true colors. But if you join in on the chaos, then you will be blinded. You be blinded to the people's true colors around you. You know, that's how you end up getting pimped and tricked. You know, so again, you can't be blind. You can't be blinded, and the way to avoid being blinded is again stay calm. Like don't panic. Like when they came out when 2020 hit, I wasn't panicking. I was like, I know exactly what a virus is, and I know exactly how to combat that. I know exactly what I need to eat. I know exactly what type of herbs I need to be taking. I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. I might ramp up on some more herbs or whatever, but I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. I'm not finna panic. You know, so when I'm not panicking, I'm able to see everybody around me that's panicking. You know, so again, when you got those type of situations, man, pay attention. Pay attention to folks around you. Stay calm, keep calm, as they say, and pay attention. Oh, Brandon, for sure. Like when that stuff, when that popped off, when that popped off, man, we was getting disowned. They didn't want to invite us anywhere. We cool. They was making us seem like we heathens and we the scum of the earth 4 years ago, and now we cool. We can come to the cookout. We can come to the crib. We can touch everything. You know what I'm saying? Like we all good now. That was funny to me, but 4 years ago I wasn't though. 4 years ago I was the scum of the earth. I was the reason why people dying. All that type of stuff. Like literally. Man, you the reason why folks out here dying and all of this and that because you don't want to go do this. Funny how quick we forget things like that. You know, I don't forget. You know, I remember who was on that type of time. And I remember who was talking crazy. And I also pay attention to how many times they keep getting sick. You know, was talking all that. And I promise you, most of the people that was talking crazy like that, every time I look up, they sick. They got some type of cough going. Hey, we good over here. We putting the proper foods and herbs into our system. We dodging those bullets. We dodging them. Again, by staying calm. We not going to panic. That's the response to everything. Stay calm. Deal with the facts. You know, you faced with a crisis. Stay calm. There's a way out of it. There isn't anything you are presented with. There isn't anything that you will be presented with that doesn't have a solution. You know, so again, accept that reality. I don't care what it is you're dealing with, there's a solution. Now, with that being said, it's up to you to implement the solution. It's up to you to put in whatever work has to be put in. But there's a solution for everything. If it's a problem, there's a solution. And I don't even care if the solution hasn't been discovered yet. It might be on you to discover it. You know what I'm saying? So just because the solution hasn't been discovered yet doesn't mean that there isn't any solution to whatever the problem is. It might just mean you got to be the one to solve it. The first one to solve it. Straight up. You know, so I don't stress out about problems because I know that every problem has a solution. That's the yin and yang of the universe, man. The yin and yang. For every positive, there's a negative. You got light, you got darkness. You know, sun, moon, up, down, duality, polarity, all those things. Hey Ray, peace, what's happening? So we dealing in duality, you know? We dealing in duality for sure. So problem, solution, question, answer, duality, polarity. So again, I don't look at it as problem only, no solution. No, problem, solution. So where there's a problem, there's a solution. Now if I gotta work hard to find a solution, it is what it is. But that don't mean the solution don't exist. Some problems, the solution is right in your face. Other problems, you may have to dig a little deeper to find a solution. But still, there is a solution. So when I know that, when I accept that fact, I'm cool. No matter what I'm presented with, it can be solved. It can be cured. It can be reversed. It can be solved. It can be answered. Straight up. It can be answered. It's just up to me. How determined am I to answer it? How determined are you to solve it, reverse it, cure it, whatever? Then it's going to boil down to you and your determination. You know, that desire you have to conquer this problem, to reverse this ailment, to solve this problem. Like that desire, you got to have that burning desire, fam. How intense is that desire? If the desire is not intense enough, then it's going to just stay at the problem stage. And you don't want that. You don't want it. So again, how bad do you want to solve a problem? How bad do you want an answer to your question? How bad do you want to reverse an ailment? How bad do you want to just get healthy, and change your state of health? How bad do you want it? If you don't want it bad enough, it's not going to happen. If you don't want it bad enough, the answers that you're seeking are not going to come to you. But if you want anything bad enough, answers and solutions will be presented to you. They might be presented to you in different ways. Like they may not come at you directly. So that means you got to stay alert. That means you got to stay sober-minded so you can decipher the signs. Because they may come to you in the form of symbolism. So that's another interesting thing about life. When you are presented with problems, man, the solutions may come to you in different ways. They may come to you in the form of symbols, in the form of dreams, indirect messages, subliminal messages, but you got to pay attention. You got to stay tapped in. You got to stay tapped in. You got to be able to determine, decipher, and detect what's going on around you and connect the dots, So if you put out some things into the universe, into the atmosphere, pay attention to what happens after you start planting these seeds consistently. Because what starts to happen around you is connected to the seeds that you have planted. So you got to connect these dots. These things that are happening to you after you start planting these seeds, they're happening to you for a reason. And that reason is to propel you or push you forward or towards whatever it is that you're striving to do or whatever you're striving to solve. It's pushing you in a direction. So you can't ignore these signs. You can't ignore the things that are happening to you after you start planting these seeds, especially when they seem odd or out of the blue, or mysterious, when they seem strange or when they seem too good to be true. Like you got to pay attention to these type of things. When stuff like that start happening when you plant seeds, hey, you need to pay attention to that, jot it down, write it down, and connect dots. Connect dots so you can solve your problem. But again, plant them seeds to the atmosphere. Plant them seeds into the mind. And watch what you start to attract. Watch what starts to come in your direction. Watch how your circumstances around you start to shift and change. So you got to keep your head on the swivel. Keep your mind alert. Stay conscious. Stay aware of everything. Hey, Chris, peace, what's happening? Create strategy, peace, what's happening? Stay alert. When they say stay woke, man, that's all they mean. Stay alert. A lot of us are deaf, dumb, and blind to the things that are happening around us. And that's why we're not able to connect certain dots. So you get presented with all these signs that if you were to take heed to the signs, your whole life could change. But if you deaf, dumb, and blind, you're not tapped in, these signs coming to you, you just ignoring them. You ignoring the signs. So stay tapped in, stay alert, man, to things that's happening to you when you plant certain seeds. And even when you're not planting certain seeds, man, again, the way the universe works, man, we always giving out some type of energy, man. You know, so we always distributing some form of energy. So we always attracting something. So the law of attraction, it works whether you are intentional or not. You know, so you are always attracting things based on the state of your mind, based on what you doing on a day-to-day basis. So we are always attracting things. Some of us are just more intentional about what we attract. You know, so if you just paying attention, like even if you're not intentionally planting seeds, but you just paying attention to everything that you are attracting in your life, that can let you know the quality of the state of your mind. Like, man, if I'm attracting a bunch of stuff that appears to be unfavorable, man, maybe that got some, maybe I need to change the state of my mind. Like, that's the lesson right there, you know? So when you tap in, you like, man, so a lot of things, a lot of unfavorable things been happening to me these past few weeks, man. Maybe it's my state of mind might be off. Let me, let me shift that. Let me alter that. Let me change that. You know? So we always attracting something. Again, whether you intentional about it or not, whether you striving to attract or manifest or not, we always manifest. We always manifest and we always attracting because we always distributing some type of energy. We always giving off some type of energy. You always doing something. You always thinking something, and that's the energy. So you're gonna attract things to you based off of based off of the quality of your thoughts, based off of the quality of your actions. You know, so what you thinking on a day-to-day basis, what you doing on a day-to-day basis, how are you being on a day-to-day basis? You're gonna attract things based off of all of that. You know, so if you're not attracting favorable conditions, then it's like your state of being has to change. Your state of mind has to change. Your state of existence has to change. Like, for real. So again, when you analyze where you at and you like, hold on, man, I'm not too fond of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not too fond of where I'm at. Gotta change your state of existence. Change your mind. Change your thoughts. Change the words that you speak. Change the words that you write. Change the people that you hang around with. All of these things. Change the information, the media, the content that you consume. Change all these things. Lindell, for sure. Hey, poverty is a disease that can be cured for sure. First of all, the first step to reversing that is changing your state of mind, because that's where it exists first, and they knew that, you know, so that's why they try to instill that mindset in us, you know. So if we can get their mindset, if we can impoverish their minds, then we already know what's going to follow. So that's why they were striving to instill a certain type of mindset in us, because they knew our physical reality will reflect that mental reality. So all we got to do is get them to embrace a poverty mindset, and their physical reality will reflect that. If we just shift it, then our physical reality is going to reflect the shift. You know, so first things first, to get out of poverty, you got to get out of the poverty mindset. Like, straight up, you got to get out of the poverty mindset by changing the thoughts. You know, and you got to understand where true wealth resides, and that's within you. You know, so you are rich. You know, you are rich. You got to start there. You know, you got to start there. Once you start with that simple reality, it's over with. It's over with. Now you're gonna start attracting all of that type of energy. Hey, yo, kids, mama, friend, peace, peace, for sure. Hey, holla at me. Q, peace, man. Everything good, man. I can't complain. Can't call it. It's all good. How you living on that end? Hey, financially, hey, you know, with our supreme math, first thing we deal with is knowledge. We say that's the foundation of everything in existence. I can't stress that enough. You know, so again, once you change your mindset, now it's time to get that information. Learn. They got the information out here for us, fam. You know, they got the information. They put it in a book. And y'all know the cliche. You want to hide something from the black man, put it in a book. They put it in books. They got the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? They got it out here. They breaking things down. They just think we not gonna read it and implement it. They put the truth in plain sight, fam. Put the truth right in front of us. So it's out here. You know, it's out here, fam. So all we got to do is educate ourselves, man. You know, but again, educating yourself is one thing, but you got that mindset got to be right and exact. You got to actually believe, and not even believe, I hate that word. You got to actually know that you are capable of doing this stuff that you're reading about. You know, so if you're reading about these things, but you don't think you're capable of doing them, then nothing is going to materialize from that. But if you read these things, you like, man, I know I can do this. I know I can achieve this. Game over. Game over. You know, so when you reading about these wealthy white folks and you like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I can't, that's impossible. I can't make $40,000 a month. I can't do that. They keep, the man keeping us that. Man, then you gonna keep attracting circumstances that reflect that. But then if you read that, like, man, well, if he making $40,000 a month, I can make 80,000. Dude ain't no better than me. Dude ain't no smarter than me. Dude ain't no wiser than me. You know what I'm saying? Dude ain't no more brilliant than me. I can do it. If he doing it, I can do it. When you take that mentality, game will change for you. Game will change for you. So when I'm reading things, man, I'm like, man, if I'm reading about somebody doing something, to me, that person ain't no different than me. So if they did it, no reason why I couldn't do it. Straight up. That's just how I feel. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it like, oh man, they had this advantage and that advantage. Nah, I'm cool on that. Even if it's true, I don't care about any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, especially when you study these white folks, at the end of the day, who did they emulate? Who did they steal a lot of things from us? You know what I'm saying? So when you talking about wealth, when you talking about being rich, hey, it don't get any more rich and wealthy than our ancestors. So that's in our DNA. That's in our DNA. So I'm cool. So I'm gonna get what's mine. You know, I'm entitled to all that. You know, I'm entitled to all that. I'm gonna get what's mine. They're not about to make me feel some type of way for what the kids say chasing this bag. They're not gonna make me feel some type of way about it. We deserve all that. We deserve all the bags. So I advise y'all to go get them. Them bad, like that's our wealth, fam. Like that's us. Go get all these bags, man, because we deserve them. We deserve them. I ain't about to sit back and allow them to have all the fun. You know what? What the book? Hey, why should white guys have all the fun? You know, R.P. the bruh. But yeah, that book. You look that book up on Amazon. You know, why should white guys have all the fun? Exactly. I ain't gonna let them have all the fun. I ain't gonna let them have all the wealth. I'm not gonna let them have all the riches. Nah. Nope, not at all. Not happening. I'm gonna get what's mine. What 50 say? Get rich or die trying. Like I'm getting that. You know, I'm getting that. I'm not ever about to get so deep into the metaphysics and spiritual talk to where I live in this illusion that we in a capitalistic society. You gotta have that money. You gotta have that money. That don't mean I have to abandon my morals to get it, but I gotta have that money. Gotta have that money. If you want to get certain things, listen, if you want to be healthy and you gotta get certain foods to be healthy, guess what you gotta use to get that food? You gotta use that, you gotta get some money. You gotta get some money. That's the world we live in. It's the world we live in. You know, if I'm telling you, to reverse this ailment or to prevent yourself from getting these ailments, you gotta juice and this and that. Man, that costs what? Money. You know, so we gotta go get what's ours, so we can live the lives that we deserve. Cause we deserve it way more than they do. So I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm fighting to get mine. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting mine. What breed and Pac say? Gotta get mine. Gotta get yours. Like I'm getting mine. Like I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine 1,000%. Hey, Greg, for sure. They didn't made black folks view money in a negative light, which again that encourages the poverty mindset. They got us afraid of money. They got us afraid of money. So then when we're afraid of money, we not actually striving to study money and how it really works. And then that's how they get us. See, we don't study money. We don't study how it really works. So when you start studying money and how this stuff, studying money, studying wealth, things like that, when you start seeing how this stuff really works, you're gonna be like, oh, okay. But they made us fear it. They got us fearing money. They got us fearing wealth. We intimidated by it. We think it's far out of reach. We don't think we can do that. We don't think we can accomplish that. So when we don't think we can accomplish something, we don't even entertain studying it. We don't even entertain it. Like, man, I can't. There ain't no way I can live like them. There ain't no way I can get that. So I'm not even gonna entertain it. I'm gonna settle. I'm gonna be content with where I'm at and what I have. They tell us we gotta be content. We gotta be humble. Like we gotta be all these type of things. Like that's the type of stuff they push on us. Man, just be content with what you have. Whoopty whoop. Like that's cool and all. Yeah, I'm good. But I'm gonna get some more though. And I'm not and I'm getting more, but I'm not getting more in the sense of me thinking it's gonna bring me some type of happiness. No, I'm getting more so that people that's left behind me can have more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not striving to get this bread because I think it's gonna make me happy and bring me peace. Nah, money is a tool. I'm using the tool to get what I need. Simple as that. I'm not one of the ones, man, I'm trying to get this money so it can bring me happiness, bring me peace. Forget all that. No, it's a tool. You got things that you need to do, you got things that you need, and it costs. And the medium of exchange is this currency. So I'm gonna get it. So I can get what I need. All Lindell for sure. Yeah, Lindell, man. Yeah, man, listen. All the rappers back in the day were inserting Donald Trump in their songs. Man, you know I'm from St. Louis. Y'all know Nelly's song. You know, Bill Gates, Donald Trump let me in now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Donald Trump was in there with the rap community back in the day. What Jeezy say? I'm Donald Trump in the white tee and white ones. Like we got Donald Trump quotes for days. I got Master P book that he wrote many moons ago called Guaranteed Success, and he was talking about how much he looked up to Donald Trump in that book. And it's just crazy how then the media turned Donald Trump to the boogeyman, and all these cats started denouncing Donald Trump like they wasn't influenced by dude. Like they had these black dudes scared to stand by that. Like, man, if you was inspired by dude, be inspired by him. You know what I'm saying? Like I got business degrees. Man, we had to read Donald Trump. I ain't afraid to say that. I can read something from somebody and not have to fool with them or support them, but I can still learn something from them. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about to, that don't mean I support them because I read a book about them and I learned something from them. That don't mean that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't mean I support everything they do. No, I'm trying to learn what they learn. I see that they live in a certain type of way. I'm trying to find out what they done found out. That's it. It's really a Donald Trump books behind me. Does that make me a Donald Trump? Say, really, I don't care what you call me, but I'm about to read his books. I'm about to find out something. I'm about to find out what he know. I'm gonna tell you that much. Whatever he know, I'm about to find out. So whatever that makes me, I really don't care what you call. I quite frankly do not care. But all them rappers start switching up like they wasn't putting Donald Trump in their songs, like they wasn't bragging about Donald Trump lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't bragging about it. I'm like, man, it's all good. Hey, if you was inspired by somebody, you inspired by, man. Don't be trying to denounce folks because the world that made them out to be the boogeyman. Greg, and it's crazy because a lot of people, it is crazy because a lot, even black, there are a lot of black artists, a lot of black people in certain industries that present this image of they had to struggle to get it. And when you start tapping in, a lot of them actually inherited some money and gave them a head start. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people rap like they got it straight out the mud, but when you actually tap into their story, nah, they got some bread that helped them out in the beginning. So you can see the Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? You can see the influence. A lot of these brothers in the entertainment industry, they not what they portray to be, you know what I'm saying? They didn't start off as rough or as bad as they trying to paint. You know what I'm saying? The picture they trying to paint. Straight up. So again, I be reading plenty of Donald Trump. I'm trying to find out what they know. Go find me the most. Listen, go find me the most wicked white dude. I'm gonna study them. I'm gonna see what they doing. That's gonna keep me on point. Like I always bring up the 48 Laws of Power. That book right there. That's you know how Shahrazad Ali was writing these books. You know, the guide to understanding the black woman and all of this and that. 48 Laws of Power is the guide to understanding the white man in corporate America, the white man in business. That's what the 48 Laws of Power is, the guide to understanding white men. Like straight up. The 48 Laws of Power is the guide to understanding white men and how they came to be in power. Like that's their guide. Like you read that book, that's what that book is. That's who that book is about. Like that's literally the guide to understanding them. That's what the 48 Laws of Power, literally that's what it is. Like that's all that book is. You know, that's the guide to understanding the white male in business, in corporate America, however you want to phrase it. Hey, fear me, man. It's been about 20 years or so. Hey, Greg, for sure. I was actually thinking about writing something similar, man. Like something like that on the black end. You know? We got laws of Ma'at. We got a lot of little things. But I was thinking about, what I'm saying, writing a little something in modern times for that. Because for sure, we definitely need it. We definitely need it. But hey, the 48 Laws of Power, man, that book could definitely, hey, I ain't gonna lie, if you implement what's in that book, you definitely gonna move up in the corporate world. You know what I'm saying? You definitely gonna move up. You definitely gonna move up. If you go by that book, it's gonna teach you some things. And you gonna start understanding why certain things are happening to you. Or why certain things did happen to you when you read that book. Oh, Greg, man, I got every Robert Greene book behind me for sure. Even the joint he did with 50 Cent, the 50th Law. You know what I'm saying? I got all his books: Laws of Human Nature, 48 Laws of Power, Mastery, Daily Laws. I got all his joints. What is it? The Art of Seduction. Straight up. That's one white dude who you need to study all his work. That's one white dude I can say put it all in the books. Like he literally letting you know what it is. Robert Greene is letting you study all his books. You're gonna be like, okay, I get what's happening. He landed out there. He landed out there most definitely. Like all his books got it all in there. The 33 Strategies of War. That book is cold. That book is cold. 33 Strategies of War is cold. Like literally, that's almost like when you read that book, it's a book on war, but it's almost that's a book on real life, like straight up. That's another that like that book crazy. That's another book that when you read it, you're gonna be like, man, they literally using war tactics on us. Like in everyday life, they using war tactics. Like when you read 33 Strategies of War, you're gonna be like, that these dudes really do see everyday life as war. We the only ones that don't live like that. When you read 33 Strategies of War, I'm trying to tell you, you're going to start seeing that at least these white folks, they looking at everyday life as war, while black folks, we not. We don't look at everyday life as war. They look at everyday life as war. Like, they literally feel like it's a war every day. I'm trying to tell you, that book, I'm reading that book, and I'm like, man, this is a business book. This ain't no war book. Like 33 Strategy, like The Art of War, all these books is crazy because these are books that, again, you're supposed to apply to war, but man, these are everyday life books. Like they are doing these things in everyday life. So I'm like, damn, they think it's war out here, but it is. Oh yeah, the Black Law Dictionary for sure. Amos, wow, I got all Amos Wilson books. R.I.P. to Amos Wilson. That's the GOAT right there. The Blueprint for Black Power. Got that book, read that book about 12, 13 years ago. One of my last like rap videos. I got that book in my hand, rapping my whole verse. I got that Blueprint for Black Power. Got that book in my hand, the entire verse in a music video. You know what I'm saying? Like music video on YouTube. Y'all can look it up. Y'all gonna see me with that Amos N. Wilson book. I'm probably the only person. I'm be like Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy say he was the first to do everything. I probably was the first person and the only person that got a rap video out here that got Amos Wilson book in his hand. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else. So I'm gonna be like Soldier Boy out here. You the first to do everything. Promise you, I have not seen any person do a rap video, any type of video like that, and have an Amos N. Wilson book in their hand for the video or in the video in general. I feel like I was the first one and the only one that applies to. Now I haven't seen every video, but I got the Amos N. Wilson Blueprint for Black Power book in the video. What's it called? One Shot Remix. You could look that up on YouTube right when you get off here. You're gonna see me in that video with the book in my hand, rapping my whole verse. Rapping that whole verse with Amos N. Wilson. I put the book up to the screen so you can see the book. Like that's the type of time I was on. That's the type of time I was on in that video. Which unfortunately, if y'all remember the good brother that was from St. Louis that got killed some years ago, Darren Seals, he was in that video. So that's actually a pretty crazy video. But if y'all was tapped into it when all that stuff started popping off, if y'all remember that name, the brother got killed, he was actually in that video also. You know what I'm saying? So I was holding up that book in that video, and then the good brother that got killed was also in that video, Darren Seals for sure. You know what I'm saying? So you could look that video up and you will see all that. But I was in that joint, man. I was in that joint with the Amos N. Wilson book, trying to shed some light. Trying to shed some light on one of the goats, man. One of the underrated goats out here, Amos Wilson. That's my guy. You know, his work changed my life early in the game. You know, it was at that point I was reading a lot of Amos Wilson, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark. I was watching a lot of Steve Coakley. You know, that's the type of time I was on, man. Professor Griff. Man, I was tapped in. I'm still tapped in, but at that time when I had that book, like I was tapped in. You know, I was doing a lot of that studying. Steve Coakley is another one of my guys. You know, R.I.P. to Steve Coakley. Yeah, Greg, there's One Shot Remix. So you spell out one though, O-N-E. One Shot Remix, and it should pop right up. Like you should see that video. Type in One Shot Remix, and the brother name, my good brother Ron G. So you can type in One Shot Remix and Ron G, R-N-O-G, and then it should come up. You will see the video. I didn't posted it before, I think, on other platforms. But yeah, that video, hey man, I know my whole verse verbatim. You know what I'm saying? I never forget that. I never forget that verse. And I never forget, I wrote that, I rapped that verse. Like I got one of the most black power verses, and I recorded that joint in studio with the white dudes. The white dude studio. I went into the white dude studio and rapped the blackest verse on the planet. The blackest verse on the planet. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where I be at. I'm gonna spit this verse. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to rap the blackest verse on the planet. Got these white dudes. You know what I'm saying? They got me in the studio with the white dudes. I ain't know whose studio I was about to record in, but I ain't care though. You know they got that verse. Oh yeah, Kwame Ture for sure got all his work. You know what I'm saying? I got all the work. You know Walter Rodney, man. I'm trying to tell you, France Fanon. Like, come on, I could just start naming all the people. I can start naming all my folks, man. But yeah, that yeah, Public Enemy. Yeah, no, I don't think they did it either. Chuck D. Yeah, I don't think he did it. Trying to tell you, I might have some history on my hands, man. I might be the only person with an Amos and Wilson book in the video. Straight up. Hey, MMR, where that video at? Tap in. I check it out for sure. But yeah, I'm always striving to keep my people informed, man, and I'm always striving to put them on some of the folks who I feel like are underrated. So that's why I'm like, man, when y'all give me the spotlight, I'm trying to shed some light on people who are getting slept on. I'm not shedding the light on people who people already know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to introduce folks to new folks. I know most people know of Malcolm X and all of that. Martin Luther King, Huey Newton. They know of these folks. So when I get to chop it up with folks, I'm trying to introduce them. Some may not know Marcus Garvey, but I'm trying to tap in with the Amos Wilson, with the John Henry Clarks, Khalid Muhammad. I'm tapping in with these folks. Sheck Enter Diop, like George Jackson, all these folks. You know, we gonna tap in with that work. We gonna tap in with that. Francis Cress Wilson, all them type of individuals. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put people on those folks. You know, and then we go to the musical end. Like I don't need to put, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to put folks on like Nas and all them type of cats. Like, nah, I'm about to put you on Poor Righteous Teachers. You know what I mean? I'm about to put you on that type of music. King's Son, I'm about to put you on Mortal Technique. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to put you on that type of time. I'm about to put you on X Clan, Brother J. That when I chop it up, that's what I'm about to introduce you to. Killer Priest. These type of names. Like, man, folks that's under the radar. Shabazz the Disciple. Like, folks you ain't heard of. I'm trying to shed the light to those cats. Because those are the individuals that for real changed everything up. Or changed everything for me. When I started listening to these cats, I'm like, dang, K Reno, y'all know that's one of my favorite rappers for sure. That goes out. I said his name thousands of times. So I don't even need to keep shedding that light on him. But music and books, that shifted everything for me. Specifically hip hop. Hip hop and books literally changed the game for me. It was through music that I got put on to a lot. You know what I'm saying? So people, that's why when folks be talking about they don't be listening to rap, that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't listen to rap, but I listen to hip hop. Hip hop changed the game for me. Hip hop educated me. Straight up. I'ma never abandon hip hop. Y'all might have the rap. Y'all might have the entertainment. But give me what KRS called edutainment. You know what I'm saying? Give me that. Give me the folks that educated me. You know what I'm saying? Give me the folks that when I listened to them, I had to start studying. And then I got to come back, revisit the song, and it's like, okay, now I get it. When I listened to Killer Priest song Bible, first time I heard it, man, I'm basic instructions before leaving Earth. I'm like, man, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? And then I started to, the more I learned, the more I'm able to appreciate that song. You know? The more I learn, the more I'm able to appreciate the lyrics in that song. You know, his One Step song. Those are two songs that I just kept listening to until I was able to understand everything that he was talking about in those songs. You know, so hey, I got a lot of hip hop songs that I could just like break down and let y'all know how they changed the game for me. Like I should probably do some type of not reaction to it. I should do some type of breakdown with a lot of these songs. Yeah, oh yeah, Razzcast for sure. Nature of the Threat. I might be one of the nerds that know that song word for word. That song alone caused me to get about 10, 12 books. Just off of that. Interview with the Vampire, with a vampire. Razzcast again. He did that. I'm like, hold on. That sparked me to write some songs. Like for real. Like straight up. But that Nature of the Threat, I know that word for word. As long as that song is with no hook, that's the type of song that I said I memorized that. All them catchy hooks and stuff that they play on the radio. No, I'd rather memorize something like that. The pale man walks in the threshold of darkness. Like, come on, man. He was going in on that song, man. Like straight up. And that interview with a vampire song is crazy. Yeah, Razzcast, he opened me up, man. I was like, man, I gotta. What are you talking about? I gotta look all this up. Yeah, but that song stays in rotation. But when I first heard it, was all in the rotation. You know, bump that religiously. But yeah, shout out, hey, shout out to hip hop, shout out to the books. You know, hip hop and books, man. That's what changed the game for me. Now I be on the jazz type of time. You know what I'm saying? Jazz is cool, stimulates the mind. But I was just straight up hip hop and books, man. That's what I was on. Underground hip hop and reading, and that caused me to become vegetarian, vegan. Man, you know that got me into running, like doing some cardio things I ain't never do before. I was just weightlifting, like hip hop, stick man, dead prayer got me into running. You know what I mean? That opened me up to vegetarian. When I heard they song "Be Healthy," I'm like, yo, along with reading How to Eat to Live. Again, hip hop in the books. Hip hop in the books. Listening to Razzcast, Nature of the Threat. Now I gotta go get a Shaka Musa Barashango. And I'm reading all his books, and now I'm getting the truth about the holidays. So it's like, yo, yo, I ain't know this. Right on. You know what I'm saying? Right on for this song that caused me to go grab these books. Right on. Like Killer Priest when he said religion is like a prison for the seekers of wisdom. That caused me to, I'm like, yep, that's what I needed. That's what I needed. Oh yeah, proper education. Soul Controller by Grand Puba. Come on now. It ain't no mystery by Brand Nubian. Brand New, them y'all know them my boys just off of the strength of the culture. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, proper education for sure. Soul Controller for sure. You know, it ain't no mystery for sure. Hey, punks jump up to get beat down. Like them was songs that was played on the radio. And y'all know what Sadat X said about the gay folks in that song. You can't say that nowadays. A song like that can't make it these days. But punks jump up to get beat down. Y'all know what Sadat X said in that song. If you don't know, go listen to it. He say he ain't down with the gays in the song, man. Sadat X wasn't playing with you. That's the type of music you can't. They can't make songs like that anymore. They getting canceled instantly. Instant cancellation. But Brand Nubian, them my boys, man. Hey, it ain't a brand new. It's hard pressed to find a Brand Nubian song I don't like. And Poor Righteous Teachers. Now them my boys. Wise, intelligent. Hey, one of the most skilled MCs on the planet. Shout out to Wise Intelligent for sure. He got some songs out here that's putting people on game. Straight up. He went under the radar. You know what I mean? For real. Poor Righteous, he's wise, intelligent, got some joints that's like, whoa, hold up. And then my brother from England, low key, if you familiar with dude, hey, he's cold. He was cold, then he retired. Oh yeah, Lakeem Shabbat. Yeah, oh man, yeah. Hey, for sure. And don't hey, y'all leaving out a major name. He had two names. The first name was Intelligent Hoodlum. Then his name that he known for now is Tragedy Gaddafi. Cold. You know what I'm saying? He came out with that song Arrest the President. One of the best songs ever constructed. Arrest the President. And yeah, that one shot, hey, type in one shot remix, put Ryan G at the end. RNOG. It should pop up. Or Universal Atom, something. Put something like that. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, hey, Intelligent Hood, that Arrest the President song is nice. That song crazy. That song crazy. And Cannabis, always been my dude. I always been a Cannabis fan. Like, man, it's just a bunch of people that just get swept under the rug. So the moment I get my 15 seconds of fame, I'm making sure I'm putting everybody on. You know, if I had the reach that some of these entertainers and athletes had, I'm putting them on everybody. Straight up. Because I've done it, man. I've literally, even in the gym, like sometimes I've been in the gym. I put this old head, my OG, I put this OG on this dude like 66, 67. You know, brothers in the gym working out. And I just started playing some K Reno. And man, he was like, hey, who is this? It's a 66-year-old OG. The old OG don't even like rap. Because he don't know this type of rap out here. Don't even like rap. He was in the gym working out. I'm playing some K Reno and he had stopped it. He was like, man, who is this? And started downloading, bro, on the phone. On his phone. Straight up. If more people knew that these folks existed, man, I'm trying to tell you the game would change. There's folks out here that they just don't know these people out here. So when you introduce them to them, they like, hey, man, who is that? Man, I done put people on K Reno. I done put people on Dead Press, you know, Coach Nim, Stickman, all them. Man, I done put people on some music. Like straight up. And some of it has changed their lives. Just like it did for me. But again, if they don't know that this stuff exists, you know what I'm saying? So you got to introduce them. That's my duty. I'm gonna introduce you to something. You know, but if you don't have an open mind, then I'm not gonna do that. So I'm mindful with who I introduce certain sounds to, certain music to. I introduce it to people that I know will appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So when I know OG and I know OG trying to listen to what's being said, OG listening to the lyrics, he listening to like, man, what is he saying? So I say, man, he gonna appreciate this. I put it on, he appreciate it. And he got K Reno got a new fan that day. A dude came back that next day after I put him on that one song. I think it was Grand Deception. After I put him on that, he came back and was like, man, I started listening to him. Man, that guy's pretty good. Straight up. So each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? When you get introduced to somebody, man, you introduce somebody to that somebody. Keep paying it forward. Keep paying it forward. That's why I'm not stingy with it. You know, I get a book and that book changed my life. I'm gonna recommend that book to you. I'm like, man, I read this book, hey, about a year ago or 2 years ago. It helped me out with whatever it is you facing. Like this book helped me out with that type of situation. I'm gonna go ahead and recommend it to you. You know, I ain't stingy with it. I ain't saying, hey, well, just like I looked it up, you could look it up. Nah, man, like I'm about to make it easier for you. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta make this move. I gotta get back to this gym, man. I gotta finish off my evening. Y'all know how I go. Y'all know how I'm steady moving, man. But I appreciate y'all tapping in, listening to the build. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna tap in with y'all, man. It might be a few days from now. I don't think I'm gonna tap in this weekend at all. Got stuff I gotta do, gotta chill out, gotta relax, get my mind back right. You know, but I appreciate y'all taking the time out this Thursday evening to listen to this build and add on, man. But I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Thursday. I'm out. Y'all be easy. Peace.